Hello and welcome to Soul Love with Kimness. I am Kim van de Sande, your host, and I'm super excited to share another episode of Soul Love with you, where we share inspirational and empowering stories from the heart. We talk about the beauty and the shadows as both are part of the ascension journey, to remind you that you are powerful, you are magical, and to have trust in what you feel to be true deep within. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Welcome everyone to a new episode of Soul Love, and I'm so excited and honored to share the beautiful magic of my soul sister Cynthia Phillips and welcome you in this beautiful space.
Thank you.
It's so amazing to have you here, and I already noticed your beautiful painting in the background that shares a lot about the beautiful magic we are all in with the beautiful full moon energy. I don't know if you want to, as we open this space, want to share a little bit about the essence of the beautiful painting behind you.
Yes, I would love to. It's always the way the spirit guides talk to me through colors and through what wants to. I always spend some time knowing what I'm going to wear, what wants to be visible. And first it was the color green. So definitely inviting in the unconditional love of our heart space into a really big heart opening that wants to happen today, you know, just allowing ourselves to crack open. And then like my rainbow earrings, and then like the rainbow is just everywhere because those rainbow codes are just coming in so fiercely right now. I've been seeing rainbows in real life, and just like the prisms and everything is just so alive. Shifting our perspective, the medicine of the rainbow and all the color frequencies. But it's a bird coming out of a keyhole, and it's holding an olive branch and is just joyfully singing. And so this is really representing, you know, communicating from that heart space, like from unlocking that back chamber of our heart and singing from that joyful state, which actually is our truth.
It is. Yeah, I love it. There's so much wisdom within that one painting. It says so much. And also the rainbow codes. It's like, it's also now the rainbow codes, but it is so profound because the rainbow codes are reminding us of our wholeness, of our oneness, and coming back to the essence of who we are. And I love that painting, almost like also the rainbow codes as a key to our hearts. It's like when we embrace all the colors of our being, that we open to our heart and to our fullness. And what I love is like these beautiful signs the universe is giving us, because I also notice like there are rainbows everywhere. Even in my cacao, there are like these bubbles that give rainbows. I think there's magic everywhere, but those are beautiful confirmations of what is happening in the world. And the green is also aligned. It's not as big as yours, but I also felt green, so it's beautiful. It's time to open our hearts. And I love how you combine all the different things that came on your path. You're working with dragons, you're working with colors, with vibrations, how you are just also like using all the different elements that came to you and create your own magical blend of beauty. And we already shared a little bit before we opened this space, but it's like we are all being asked to navigate the shadows, all being asked to do the inner work and to really come to the essence of our being. What do you use as tools? How do you tune into what is needed in this moment? Because it's really a moment of truth and coming back to our essence and doing the inner work. So maybe you can share a little bit about how you beautiful things that you use. Or
absolutely. I mean, I haven't been able to do it my own, and that's the number one thing that I really want to press. And you know, and gratitude for even being here today, because my biggest resistances are really come in the area of visibility and being seen, and the work that goes behind it. And there have been lots of times where that has felt too hard for me, that I've literally had to just surrender and say, well, then make this easier. And that is when invitations like this podcast will come forth and just really remind me that the messages are there, and that ease can be invited in through. So a couple things are coming through with it. It's like through asking, because asking for help, you know, with the spirit realm, 100%, but also through our human friends, is a huge growth expansion that, you know, we do have to open our heart for, right? And there are a lot of things that could come through that have wanted to, like, for me personally, this last month, like, close my heart back up. And it's just like, no, but I know the magic of my heart staying open. And so it really has been through community.
Yeah.
Through you, through my other mentors, and through my groups, and through serving others with my gifts. And so I really want to presence the community.
Yes, but it's important. We need community. I think that's our next growth and expansion, really allowing ourselves to be seen from this vulnerable space and asking for help, because we are all here choosing to elevate, and when you can co-create in a different space, it really is beautiful, and it really opens your heart. But it's also, I love what you're saying, asking for help and asking the universe for help, and then also accepting that the help may come in different ways. So like you shared, like maybe feeling like almost afraid for being visible, and then you ask the universe for help, and then you get invited for a podcast. But sometimes it's like, no, the help can come on different ways, because sometimes the help comes by showing you a trigger or by showing you a challenge, and then it's going through that to awaken even more of your light. So you're doing that, and I really think that's amazing. You're constantly doing the inner work to step up, because deep within, you know, it's time. It's time to show the world your magic, and it's by being you. And I think that's also the message for all our listeners. It's not by doing more and knowing more. It's by really just loving yourself and stepping up in that beautiful way. So yeah, thank you. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how do you navigate it within yourself then? So let's say you are being invited and something pops up. What do you use? Like, how do you invite the universe to co-create with you, or how do you use the different tools you have? Or
well, the first is going into that state of listening. And so for me, it's connecting in nature. And with you in particular, it is so funny, because I do have, although we are about to meet in person, have not yet met in person, but the soul remembrance is just so there, which is so true with so many of my friends. And with you, like, hearts just pop up everywhere, and especially like in nature. And so as soon as I said yes to the podcast, as soon as I said yes to Egypt, I'll just notice, like, in the leaves there's hearts, the bark in the tree there's hearts, like I feel like there's literally hearts, like, running around with me. And I could even be in a very processing a lot of emotions, and my heart could be doing whatever clearing work it needs to be doing, because I feel things very strongly in my body. But like, I'll see those synchronicities. And so I love watching for synchronicities, especially in nature, to let me know that I'm in the right path. And that looks different for many different things, but like, I just love it, because sometimes you may feel stuck, or like you're in the wrong place. And then when I see a heart, something that simple, I'm like, it just gives me peace.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, but it's also reminding us that, also what I noticed with all of you, it's like we are connected, even though we're not physically connected all the time, or we're not chatting all the time. We have re-established this connection that we have had many lifetimes, and it is there, and it's constantly supporting us and giving us signals and empowering us. I think it's the same with me, because truly, the moment you connect from this heart-centered space with each other, magic starts to happen. And it's not even always in the physical realm, but also in the higher dimensions. And I know for a lot of people that's like something that is not explainable, but that's also what is happening. It's like we are being invited to alchemize these different parts of us and step into a bigger mission. It feels like us coming together. And for everyone that is, the more you become you, the more of your soul tribe you will find. And you are here in your own way on the same mission to bring more light. And we need each other because we all have these moments where we're doubting. We all have these moments where we're challenged, or we all have these blind spots in our fields. And then it's the other one mirroring us the light we have, or mirroring our potency of what we need, and using our different magic. Because I loved, like, I received a beautiful a dragon reading of you, and I love how powerful it is. But it's also beautiful how we can combine different ways, and it's not like mine is the way or yours is the way. I think when we're stepping into this new paradigm, it's really a co-creation and using or sharing the sacred space together that amplifies it. So I think that's really an invitation for everyone. But it's by you being you and me being me that we can find each other on this deeper level, instead of us being in our illusions, or being in like the, how do you say, almost like the fakeness of who we maybe were in when we were younger, or how we were taught up to be, or yeah. But it's being a brave journey of really stepping up into this space and stepping up into the visibility, and yeah. So, but it's magical. And especially when you say yes to Egypt, like we're going to Egypt together in May, but it's already the moment you say yes to a certain journey. It starts. It starts as you say yes. It's not starting when you take the flight. Yes, then it's the next level. But it's like, yeah, it's navigating already now, doing the inner work, and really, yeah, co-creating with the energies. I don't know how that has been for you since you said yes. Like, what magical things
no,
opened up.
100%. The initiations already start. Yeah. And I guess that leads me to another tool that is really been, we both work in the Akashic Records. Yes. I've had an Akashic reading from you, which was just absolutely phenomenal. And I've learned in the Flower of Life with Tara Preston and have been mentoring with her. And one of the things that we do is activate our higher self. Mm-hmm. When we very much start the program, and saying yes is, even without going through the whole, which does amplify it, going through the process of activating your higher self in the Akashic Records definitely amplifies it. So I highly recommend that tool. Yes. But that automatically happens when we say yes to everything. Yes. And calling in, the advanced you, the higher version of you, every day to help navigate what you're currently moving through is an enormous tool, because even everything that you were talking about, I was just keep on just seeing myself being turned inside out over and over and over as we all learn who we are and what our truth is. Because at the beginning of my journey, who I thought I was is actually a very different person that is in front of you now. And that I thought was actually in there, and so much bigger too, like you said, like it's just so much bigger, which is why there is so much dissolving of the ego and the limited thought patterns that are there. And so activating the higher self, but really becoming in a good relationship with your mind, body, and soul, but letting your heart communicate with your mind instead of your mind controlling you. Because our mind is meant to work with us, but it's not controlling the show. And there is a lot of rewiring that has had to happen with me, that I know that is happening for a lot of us that are listening to this, if not everybody listening to this, and catching those negative thought processes and changing your mindset and allowing yourself to see. And so when it comes to developing my psychic abilities, I'll notice that I use the word that I'm of the psychic ability or intuitive gift or the clair that I'm invoking. And then I actually realize, even through verbalizing it, like I'll say, I see. And I realize that I'm actually trying to see through my third eye, and I'll take that as a prompt from my higher self, that they're trying to get me to see something. Or sometimes I'll put my hand over my heart and I say, I feel. And then I know that that's my higher self prompting me to feel what I'm trying to feel. And letting my body navigate, especially when my outer world isn't what I know is reflecting my inner world, which is basically, my inner world is unconditional love and joy. So if my outer world is reflecting anything different than that, what is it showing me? Like you said, we have two types of relationships, right? One that's like kind of like the monkey house, where our reflections like getting us to see and transmute, and then our relationships that are our divine mirrors that are showing us that we're so much bigger and better than we could even imagine. And both are so important. Yeah, it is. But I love, like, the reflection part is important, because in the end, when we feel contraction or where we feel like something is out of resonance,
it is our heart sharing, this is not your divine truth, because your divine truth is love. So whatever situation is triggering you, it's showing you this is not your divine self. This is not part of your divine plan. And I love asking your higher self, asking your future self, because that's so important. We are here to connect deeper with that part of ourselves, because it is that part that shows our divine truth, that shows us our love and really our guidance, and where we are divinely designed to go through, because we are pioneering. Like also in the past, so many teachings have been about almost spiritual bypassing, and we are now choosing to go to the depth of our beingness to really see what, like the shadows that want to be seen, because underneath there is a true wisdom, underneath there is a true magic. But that is pioneering, and that is creating something from templates that haven't been created before. So we're really creating the new earth, and that is like we're all stepping up in our own unique way to be brave enough to create something that has not been created, to create something we can't yet see, but we know it to be true within our heart. So I love that. And also like letting your heart lead, but your mind is also part of it, because it is our mind that helps us to create things and to build things, and it's beautiful. But it's an invitation to go deeper within ourselves, to connect to these higher dimensional parts of us that know our truth and that know our true values and our true, and whenever life shows us different things, it's tuning within, like what does it want to share with me? Is it like an invitation to grow, or is it like really not resonating with me? So I think that's a beautiful, yeah. And your body can be a tool, but also like what you shared, like if my higher self wants me to see something, I say I see, over your placing your hand over your heart, because that's really, it's bringing intention even more into what you desire. So it's like, okay, I'm ready to see. It's almost like in my book, I share a little bit about if you receive a sign, even you mentioning, oh, I see the hearts in nature. It's saying to the universe, I have seen it. Now I'm ready for the next step. It's almost confirming, like, okay, I've seen the sign, I've seen the synchronicity. And by you confirming, even if you're saying it in words or placing your hands over your heart, it's already saying to the universe, I'm ready for the next one. So I love that. I've never done that with I see or I love, but I love that gift. And that it's so simple yet so profound. So I think it's a beautiful way, if you want to awaken your psychic abilities, to really use that tool. Like it's something you can already do in your house. Light a candle and connect with your higher self, connect with Mother Earth, and ask, I see, and whatever wants to be revealed. I love that. And it is most of the time these simple tools. That is what I notice within myself. But we think they are too simple, so they wouldn't work. But it is these simple things that are like not the protocols of an hour before you're ready to do something. It is like, because also our connection is instant. It's like the more you come home within yourself, like you are always connected with your dragons and with your team of light and with every magical sparkling energy around you. And it's just there, but it's you trusting, and yeah, beautiful.
Yes. My body is just buzzing.
Yes, and our body knows our truth. Yes, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, and how, like a painting like that, how do you start with something like that? How do you start with a project?
They're so different each time. Often it's colors, like I'll know which medium, what canvas, I kind of put my hands out, scan the room and see what wants to come through. This one is actually made for a friend whose husband is on the other side. And so when I tuned into him for his message to her, the first one, this was actually the second one that was more simple, that I was actually able to pull off. What I see in my head is not always easy to yeah, just letting the shapes, the symbols and everything put itself together.
Yeah, because it feels like a transmission. Like for people listening to this podcast, maybe it's good to explain. It's like a beautiful green background, and then you have a popping heart in the middle with a keyhole, and then a beautiful bird comes out and a rainbow flow, and it's so beautiful. But it's like, it's also reminding me of different ways how we can express our divinity. It is through speaking, through singing, through artworks, there are so many ways, to dancing, there are so many magical ways to express, like, yeah. Also reminding me of, you went this summer to, I forgot the name of the festival, but that's a whole different experience. It's also about dancing and expression in the most magical ways. You being there as a priest. Yes, Burning Man. Yeah, how was that for you to be there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the theme was, it was waking dreams, and my dreams very much is another way that spirit uses to communicate through me. Yes. And it was literally seeing my dreams actually in real life. Like, it's such a place of manifestation and knowing where you are in sync with Mother Nature, because you are in the desert, which is such a fierce force of the primal mother. And so you get exactly what you get exactly what you're putting out. Like, there is no sugarcoating anything. And it was just so magical to watch, and to see my dreams actually like happening before my eyes was like, wow. And the self-expression has always been an important part of it. And it is a reflection of life. Life is a playground. God, like the creator, however you want to call that, like, it's really brought me into remembrance that we are here to create. And so I know right now artificial intelligence is coming in by a storm, right? Robots are already transporting goods. There's apps, there's just a lot going on with artificial intelligence. But really, when you tap into it, the reminder is, it's exactly that. It's artificial, right? Like, the real intelligence is inside you, and the creative force within you that wants to be expressed, there is no competition for, because is the art perfect on this? Absolutely not. But the energy and the transmission is there, because there's so much more that went into this painting than any robot would ever be able to do. And that is like the codes that are within us. And that is why, like, when I do go into my creation mode, it can't be even replicated twice within me, because it's done in the magic of the moment.
But it's multi-layered. It has so many dimensions. But
and
I love
the energy.
Yes, it is. But also you tapped into two important things, like this painting as well. We are the painters of our lives, and it's reclaiming that power. So I love that you're bringing that forward. But also your second, like, indeed, there are many like robots and these man-made technologies that are being created, but it is reminding us now in this time that we are much more powerful than that. We are, if we're really, like, it's almost like we use such a small percentage of what we are capable of, and when we really step into that superpower, we are more smart and capable of things than computers are. We can communicate without a phone. We can do magical things, travel to the stars, awaken powers that we have not been awakened for many years. But it is being brave enough to dream something different. It's being brave enough to listen to the calling we feel within our hearts, because our heart knows there's something more magical possible. We have so been taught to dim that thought. We have so been taught to not bring that up.
And that's what you said, like, it's our heart that knows. And that's what this is too. I mean, it's a keyhole from the heart. And that's why when challenges come through that, like, where I could feel my heart wanting to close up, it's like unconditional compassion and self-love and forgiveness. Because like, if there's just, keeping our hearts open, like it's accessed. That's where our imagination is accessed. That's where our wisdom is accessed. And it does go, it's our whole body's wisdom, but it is through that heart center that you're really going to get to the truth of who you are, why you are here, and what's going to bring you that joy. Because she's quite joyful. This bird is really joyful.
Yes. Oh, it's an uplifting painting. It's like, it brings joy and it opens your heart, and it brings playfulness. It's like, it brings hope. It's but it truly is. The wisdom and the magic is being reminded through our hearts, but it also invites us to feel. So it's also an invitation to not be afraid to feel, not be afraid to cry, to scream, to be angry, to let that come out. It's like, you're also like in the god, like the priestess energy, but it's all about, if you awaken the goddess within yourself, to embrace everything and to not be afraid of your too much, to not be afraid of, like, doing stupid things.
Even let yourself enjoy it. Let yourself enjoy it.
Yes. And it's also laughing about life. It's like laughing about the silly things we do, or laughing about, because that's really, being okay with being different, and being okay with being, seen in our authentic truth and in who we are. And so I love that. So many magical things to share. If there was one thing like you would say to yourself a couple of years ago, what would you give yourself as advice or as tip to fast track the path you were on? And I know it's not a fast track, because in the end, through all our experiences, we grow and expand. But what would be an advice you would give yourself a couple of years back?
You know, it really is gratitude. And I have had moments where I have made those milestones where I connected to my future self and could see where my future self sent my past self that love. Mm-hmm. And actually this has even happened to me very tangibly, where I was like, oh my goodness, this is the moment that I actually wrote a letter in the past that actually was for my future, that has landed to me. And so it has to do with time traveling, which is a gift of the dragons and other things.
I love that.
We have it accessible to us, like use it. And it goes back to that higher self activation, even like send all of those pieces of you, because you're going to be coming back, right? We're all coming back to ourselves, and it's a wild ride, and just loving and compassionately accepting like every part of it without wanting to rush it.
I love it.
Because it is a journey. And like, we're already on the path. If you're listening to this call right now, you're on the path. Don't like take that pressure off of you. You know, and then open up to receive the gifts that are already here.
Yeah. And it's honoring, also knowing that we are in the right place, in the right time. It is now, and it's honoring all the parts that are being shown, because there is wisdom in every little thing, in every little sign, but also every little challenge, and so holding space for yourself and being grateful for, if you can be grateful for all that is happening, then it's really, it's magic. So I think that's a beautiful message. And open your heart. Again, the beautiful painting of the open your heart and don't be afraid to feel, and to really, I think, to really live life to its fullest and to its so thank you for sharing your magic and your energy, and thank you for who you are and for stepping up into this bigger space. And if you want to know more about Cynthia and how you can work with her, you can find her information below. And for now, I want to thank everyone for listening and tuning in, and I want to thank you, Cynthia, for being here. And I see you all in the next Soul Love podcast. So for now, much love. Bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.